Sir, we would like to hear a few words from you today. Please share some wisdom with us, sir.
Respected dignitaries sitting in the front and the second bench, I see a galaxy of Assam's intellectuals and who's who out here. And of course, my friend, the Vice Chancellor of this wonderful institution, the university. We are in the same service earlier. I was in the Indian Information Service, and so was your Vice Chancellor. And we are together at the same batch, of course. So it's a great experience coming here. And my dear, very bright group of this wonderful institution that has made quite a name for itself from SPM Academy. And my dear boys and girls getting into the civil services, good day for you guys. Congratulations. Yesterday, I believe, Honorable Chief Minister Assam had distributed a whole lot of certificates to different boys and girls who have successfully made it in different kinds of exams and services. And I wonder if the civil service people were there or not. But then he had said a couple of very interesting things, like it's been for a number of years that the recruitment in Assam has been conducted with great amount of fairness and transparency. Well, I've been also a part of the entire ecosystem, and this is all happened when I just joined as a DGP Assam, and then the next day itself there was to be an exams held out there of the police. And lo and behold, the very next day of my joining as DGP, I find that the papers were leaked. and all hell broke loose. And I was the first person to tell the Honorable then Chief Minister say that the exams has to be stalled. It has to be stopped and nothing doing. And we are kind of satisfied that leaked it was. So thereafter, the entire onus, in addition to being the DGP, at a time when the CAA movement was going on, and the consequent amount of stress and focus that I had to make to bring about law and order in the state, in addition to that kind of a responsibility, a great amount of responsibility was also conferred on me to conduct the exams seamlessly, and I was made the chairman of the Police Recruitment Board. And the journey had begun then for the entire state of Assam. We had brought out certain kinds of SOPs, standard operating procedure. And we didn't merely bring out standard operating procedure, we actually learned as we proceeded and improvised and made it a system which is absolutely watertight. At times, আমি অলপ বেছি বেছিও কৰিছিলোঁ. Things like, putting GPS on a vehicle, carrying question papers and answer scripts, etc. হিমানলৈকে গৈছিলোঁ. GPS আৰু ক'ৰবাত driver পেচাব কৰিব লাগিলে, that gets videographed and stuff like that. We went out of our way. Absolutely, so that not an iota of element of doubt remains in the entire process of conducting the exams. And ever since, after that journey, of course, we took about, I had, during my tenure as DGP Assam, I had recruited as many as 15,000 police personnel. 15,000 is not a matter of joke. And to take 15,000 number of jobs, there were more than 40 lakhs of people of Assam, young boys and girls who want to dream a life of a better future. So, yes, we took a great deal of help from the technology, was a great leveler. Now, in the era of artificial intelligence, of course, things can be made even more watertight. And I must congratulate you because you have come on the basis of absolute merit of yourself. You haven't had occasion to go approach anybody. Sir, মোৰ ফালে চাব আৰু দেই এনেকুৱা টাইপৰ কোনো স্কোপেই নাই তাৰমানে the whole ecosystemটোত এনেকুৱা হৈ গ'ল. But I must congratulate the entire state government. The officers who've been involved in the Assam Public Service Commission, call it any other officer who've been remotely involved into the entire process, and also the college authorities and like the students and the faculty of different colleges who are roped in to be a part of the entire ecosystem. Anyway, since you guys have come through this particular SPM Academy, SPM, very interesting name. I see it, as the other day I was just telling our man that they've been painting the town red all over Assam. I mean, wherever you go, you see SPM. Great to know that some of our local people, indigenous boys and girls, have been focusing a great deal of attention to generate a sense of competition among young boys and girls. The need of the hour, absolutely. আমাৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীবোৰে যেতিয়া বাহিৰত পঢ়েগৈ বা কাম কৰে বা বাহিৰৰ কম্পিটিটিভ এক্সামছ পাছ কৰি পেলাই বাহিৰত চাকৰি কৰে, মই যিটো দেখিছোঁ, he is no worse than any other boy from any other place of the country, boy or girl. মই অকল চিভিল ছাৰ্ভিচতে কোৱা নাই, বেংকিং ছেক্টৰ, LIC, GIC, etc., the insurance sector, entire the private sector, entire lot of PSUs, য'ত এক্সামছ পাছ কৰি পেলাই আমাৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীবিলাকে তাত যায়, গৈ পেলাই the kind of performance they come up with, often I find that our boys and girls are doing great all over. I was myself in the board of directors of BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited. You must be knowing about it. It's a big PSU. And I was also in the board of directors of different other PSUs like Andrew, the tea-making PSU from Kolkata. So I found that whole lot of Assamese boys and girls are walking there, and they are doing wonderfully well. But then it so happens that you don't come across too many boys and girls from our place in these sectors. In insurance sector, GIC, LIC, or a whole lot of other insurance organizations, you find that not too many people from Assam. So is the case in respect of the banking sector, the probationary officers' exams and stuff like that. Since SPM has taken a very definitive stride and has proved itself, I would say, by occupying quite an amount of place in the minds and hearts of the youngsters in Assam, I think you have given yourself a great deal of more responsibility to be looking far forward, also perhaps get the people into different other sectors. I'm told more than 100,000 of boys and girls have taken the exams. The boys and girls who haven't made it into the 238 odd numbers, total numbers, I believe, who had made it, this is quite a minuscule number that has come up out of a huge numbers. I believe the number of seats also have got shrunken quite a bit. So the entire lot of other guys who haven't been sitting out here today perhaps are equally apt and perhaps could be fitting better in a whole lot of other organizations. In fact, we have instances out here in Assam itself, the guy sitting who had made it out here in statistical service or some organization like that has become an IAS or IPS. Whole lot of boys and girls from here could perhaps tomorrow be in a UPSC selected boys and girls. So even for them, there ought to be yet another scope, and you'll perhaps do well to also guide that kind of a lot from Assam. And for you boys and girls, you have entered into a new arena of your life. It's a new, different stage of life. And I would say you should love it. But then you haven't done anything too great. I must give you a pat in the back, congratulate you, but just no time for bulle bulle. Nothing too great you have done. You have just qualified in the exams. The test begins now. So, enekwa hobo nalage je mo hoi gol. Moi IAS, ACS boni golo, moi APS boni golo. My life is made. I'm sorry, it's not that. Your life has just begun. Now's the time when you'd be tested on each of your steps, baby steps that you are going to make now. Definitive baby steps to start with, and then later, at times you'll have to make strides. At times you'll face challenges. At times you'll face frustrations. There would be injustices galore right in front of you. Injustices you would be perhaps be made to do. You would be meting out to other people, and injustices would also be meted out to you. It's a fact of life. Everything, good, bad, and evil, everything happens in one's life. So you've got to be kind of going along despite the pulls and presses of the service, despite the pulls and presses of the people around, the family, your own standard about yourself. Gotike, কাম মনবোৰ কৰিবলৈ এটা নতুন মন বান্ধি ল'ব লাগে. That is what is something very important. That, yes, I can. And, you know, if you don't do very well, if you don't enjoy the job you do, what happens? You may not be very interested in civil services as such, but then you have got into ACS. You could have perhaps done better in accounts or any other IT sector or some other things, but then circumstances are such that you have to take these particular exams because your folks are around here, your friends and families are here. Gotike yat sakoritu mo koratu upai nai yat koriboi lagibo. Gotike সেই কারণে কামটো কৰিব, but then you do not quite love the job. এইটো হলে কি হ'ব? After a point of time, you will make mistakes. You'll get into frustrated kind of an ecosystem, and you won't be able to get out of it. You'll make mistakes, and you will not be a darling of the governance mechanism. Then, ki hobo nijor pora, you will get alienated from your system and alienated from self, which would give rise to depression. Got to be very watchful and careful about, depression setting into your mindset. The best thing is to love your job. I never thought I would be a cop. I used to love writing, I used to love doing recitations, doing drama. My Franz Kafka blue koripele birat bhal pao agote moi mane college university thakote Myth of Sisyphus mur pocket thake ekhon kitab. Moi George Orwell ke dhori pelai moi existentialism or kotha birat pohu. Hebila kori meli moi birat bhal pao English play koru. Ami খাৰখোৱা স্কুলত পঢ়া একেবাৰে গাঁৱৰ স্কুলত কুঁৱৰপুৰ বালিকা মহাজলীয়া বিদ্যালয়ত আমি পঢ়া হাতত ধাৰি লৈ যাওঁ আগত কিন্তু গৈ পেলাই দিল্লী ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিত যেতিয়া ফৰফৰাই থাকে ইংৰাজীত বাকি দুন স্কুলত পঢ়া বা ভেৰি এলিট কাইণ্ড অফ স্কুলছ তেতিয়া আমি পিছৰ বেঞ্চত বহি পেলাই আমন জীৱনকে ভাবি থাকোঁ আয়ো দেহি ময়ো যদি এনেকৈ ইংৰাজী ক'ব পাৰিলোহেঁতেন কিন্তু কি হ'ল because perhaps of kind of experiences that we have had, kind of life that we have had, kind of determination that we had very, very carefully inculcated into ourselves. It was only a matter of time that people wouldn't say that I am not from Doon School myself. এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ এটা পৰিৱেশ এটা আহি পৰিছিল মই যদি কওঁ আমাৰ গাঁৱত স্কুলত ধাৰি লৈ যাব লাগিছিল হাঁহি হাঁহি সিহঁতে বাগৰি পৰে they won't believe it. গতিকে after a point of time মই যেতিয়া IPS ত সোমালো I have decided to like it. I have decided I'm going to like this bloody job that I have got. Civil service paisu, Ahomot paisu, might as well love it. Etu mon asile je goi pelai moi coercive eta atmosphere at khumam. Eta enekwa institutional moi eta leadership position at nijoke place korin jitut efale nohobo efale he. মানুহৰ মনত এটা নেগেটিভিটি about police বস্তুটো সোমাই থাকে, the entire policing structure itself is based out of a negative kind of a connotation. Though society has evolved the system into such, গতিকে যিহেতু তাত coercive elementsবোৰ inbuilt হৈ থাকে policing activitiesত, গতিকে automatically anybody who loves liberty, who loves freedom would say that, আহিলে আৰু পুলিচগিলা ঠুল্লাগিটা বুলিয়ে কয়, আহিলে আৰু এইকেইটা, এফালে নাযাবা, এফালেহে যাবা, এইটো নকৰিবা, এইটোহে কৰিবা। যেতিয়া এই ধৰণৰ বাধ্যবাধকতাৰ চিষ্টেম এটা বনোৱাই দিয়া যায়, এইটো নহ'লে নহ'ব, society can't run if you don't have this kind of a system. ময়ো ভাবিছোঁ, বেয়া পাইছিলোঁ পুলিচক, কিন্তু I have decided I love this job and I try to, delineate the positivity out of it. And lo and behold, I did it. I enjoyed myself, swimming in the tide, fighting the bad guys, bringing about semblance of peace wherever there were challenges. I would get it head on. আৰু মই নতুন এটা system এটা আনিব বিচাৰিলোঁ, যে traditional policing, যেতিয়া বিশেষকৈ অসমৰ নিচিনা জেগা য'ত insurgency, every 10 days there would be bomb blast, kidnapping, encounter, killing, এইবিলাকৰ মানে gory aspects of life would kind of rule the roost out here in Assam. Around those days we were in the leadership positions and we had to really fight it head on. Yes, যদি বাচি যায়, you have survived, life is good. If you are dead, life is not good. এনেকুৱা আছিলে। ইয়াতে বহি আছে শ্ৰীযুত বৰুৱা, তেখেতৰ DC বৰপেটা থাকোঁতে I think তেখেতৰ গাড়ীত গুলিয়াইছিলে, এম্বুছ হৈছিলে, কোনোমতে বাচি আছে, বাচি গ'ল, সেইকাৰণে লাইফ has been good for him. If he had not this had happened to us a great deal of times, গতিকে, কিন্তু at the same time adrenaline would rush. We would not back up and stuff like that. গতিকে নিজৰ চাকৰি যদি যেতিয়া ভাল পোৱা হ'লোঁ, তেতিয়া কি হয়, I guess you blossom into a due personality. You contribute better. You create positively to your ambience. And you can take other people along with you. And you can also charter a new path perhaps. You can evolve new strategy which is otherwise not being followed by the state. You could perhaps also, get into different kind of a thought process. You study. You delve deep into matters. পঢ়া শুনা কৰা যায়, বাকী ষ্টেটত চাব লাগে, এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ ইছ্যুজবিলাকৰ ভিতৰত সোমাই পেলাই you can become an expert on field yourself. ঠিক তেনেকৈ মই মোৰ নিজৰ কথাৰ এইকাৰণেই কৈছোঁ যে এনেকুৱা উদাহৰণেৰে নিজৰ চাকৰিটো যেতিয়া তোমালোকে নিজৰ এনজয় কৰিবলৈ ধৰিবা, তেতিয়া দেখিবা লাইফ ইজ গুড. There would be negativity, there would be issues, but then end of the day you will come and sleep well আৰু try and carry on doing better. আৰু বস্তুটো অৰিজিনেলি যিটো বস্তু ভাল পোৱা তোমালোকে কৰিব, don't avoid doing it, carry on doing that. You would get time no matter how busy you are. গতিকে সময় পাই থাকিব। এনিৱে মই বহুত লম্বা মাৰিছোঁ, মই বেছি কথা নকওঁ। You guys are pretty exposed yourself and I'm sure you have done a lot of hard work. পঢ়া শুনা বহুত কৰিলা আৰু now পঢ়া শুনা কৰা, read your life, read your work, read your interrelationship, and technology has entered into our lives big time. Artificial intelligence, so আজিৰ যুগত DeepSeekৰ সময়ত, DeepSeekৰ যেতিয়া কেইটামান সৰু ল'ৰাই ষ্টাৰ্টআপ এটা 3 বছৰ আগতে আৰম্ভ কৰি $5 million খৰচ কৰি পেলাই এনভিডিয়াৰ নিচিনা এটা কোম্পানী অভাৰনাইট $600 billion নষ্ট কৰি পেলাইছে, কেইটামান ল'ৰা মিলি পেলাই। মানে technology has entered our interpersonal relationship, our education system, our finance, our ঘৰত থকা way we live, etc. It's all pervasive. Now in such a scenario, if you are not technologically adept, interested, acquiring certain amount of expertise, then you'll be left behind. Watch out, you got to be very careful about it. and technology can have a very serious ramification on your life too. And বেছি কথা নকওঁ আৰু ধৰ্ম কথাটো ভাবিব কৰ্মই ধৰ্ম বুলি কয় কৰ্মৰ লগত ধৰ্ম একেলগে যাব লাগে ধৰ্ম মানে এই কুম্ভত স্নান কৰা ধৰ্ম কথা কোৱা নাই ধৰ্ম মানে মই হাংগামা গৈ পেলাই চিঞৰ বাস কৰাটো বিচৰা মই সেইটো ধৰ্ম কোৱা নাই ধৰ্মৰ মাজৰ যিখিনি এলিমেণ্টছ অফ এথিকেল অৰিয়েণ্টেশ্যন মই সেই ধৰ্ম কথা কৈছোঁ কৰ্মৰ মাজত তুমি যদি বেইমানি নকৰোঁ বুলি তুমি নিজকে সিদ্ধান্তটো লৈ লোৱা ensuring justice for those distressed এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ মাইণ্ডছেটেৰে তুমি এনকাৰেজড হোৱা তেতিয়া perhaps তোমাৰ ঈশ্বৰেও ভাল পাব আমাৰ আকৌ ঈশ্বৰজন বৰ ভাল আমাৰ ঈশ্বৰজনে নিবিচাৰে যে মোক এইটো দিয়া সেই ঈশ্বৰ মই তোমাক এইটো দিলোঁ মোক আৰু এইটো ভাল কৰি দিবা দেই সেই ঈশ্বৰ মই তোমাক এইটো দিলোঁ তুমি মোক ভাল কৰি ঈশ্বৰ আমাৰ এটা বদমাছ অফিচাৰ নহয় যিটো অকণমান মাল পতং লৈ পেলাই ভাল কৰি দিব আমাৰ ঈশ্বৰ সেই ক্ষেত্ৰত বৰ ভাল আমাৰ ঈশ্বৰে ভক্তি বিচাৰে গতিকে ভক্তি কৰিবা ভয় কৰিবা টু ডু থিংছ দ্যাট আৰ নট ইন the line of the kind of thought process that we are advocating ourselves ঈশ্বৰ would be accepting you as a great bhakta গতিকে ধৰ্ম সেইটো লেভেলত কৰিব লাগে by being good to yourself by being good to your society being good to the people that you are going to serve বেছি নকওঁ thank you very much wish you all the very best congratulations once again